In September of 2010, we went to San Diego, California to visit Gayla Henderson. She wanted to show us some hippopotamus artwork she had done. It's a mammal that's very important to her, because when she was a little girl living in Oklahoma City, her name was Gayla Peevey, and she became well known by recording "I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas." We only used a small part of the interview in the show, so we include more here.
I was asked to sing on the radio in Oklahoma City, and the head of WKY TV there in Oklahoma City and a man named Jack Beasley, who had a television show, a regular television show, heard me on the radio and asked me to come to WKY TV and sing on an Easter telethon. And so that's kind of what, you know, was the springboard for getting into professional singing. I guess the reaction was really good from the telethon. And they asked me to be a regular on the Sooner Shindig, a local show. Isn't that a crazy name? With Big Ben Morris. I'll never forget. It was very fun. And the Chuck Wagon Gang. Now, Jack Beasley, that was his show, and he played the bass. And so I started singing all over the state because, you know, people saw me on television, and I would kind of travel with the Chuck Wagon Gang and sing for various, you know, events. And then I got a contract with NBC and did the Hoagie Carmichael show, which was the summer replacement for the Show of Shows. You know, Sid Caesar and Imogene Coca, that show. And got a record contract with Columbia, and then recorded my first record was "I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. Only a hippopotamus will do." And I kind of took the song and did some things with it that were different than what, you know, they had intended. But I think it turned out good because it was a march. It is a march. And it's a marching band. And so I kind of got into that. And, you know, the "I want it," you know, that was kind of my thing. And then stuttering on the hippopotamuses, that wasn't in there. And I didn't know if they would like that or not. And Mitch Miller said, keep it, I like that. The song started, you know, taking off and became the biggest Christmas hit that year. It was 1953. Ah! Oh, I can't believe it was that long ago. But anyway, I was only 10. Do the math. And so, you know, the hippo song was really being played. Everybody was hearing it, and that's how the fundraising to buy a hippo for the Oklahoma City Zoo came about. They thought, wow, let's tie in with that hit song. And so, you know, they started running ads in the paper and telling kids, hey, you know, let's send in your nickels and dimes and we can raise enough money to buy Gayla a hippo. And it was called the Gayla Peevey Hippo Fund. The hippo fundraising drive really became a huge event, and organizations got on board. You know, they collected money, sent it in, but mostly it was kids sending in their nickels and dimes and quarters. And by Christmas Eve, you know, Matilda, which was the hippo's name, she was in the Central Park Zoo, and she was waiting there, and the money came in, and they were able to buy Matilda and ship her in on Christmas Eve, and she arrived at the airport Christmas Eve morning. And quite a media event. We went with cameras, and a lot of fans were there, and greeted Matilda. She came in a crate, and I was the first one to peek in and see her, and it was quite exciting. And then we went to the zoo, and we got to see her launched into her new hippo quarters, and she seemed very happy. It was a time when television was new. So anybody that was on television, then it was like a big deal, much more than it is now. But yeah, I was a regular, you know, on WKY, and then I did the Hollywood thing with Hoagie Carmichael and then Ed Sullivan. So it made it very impossible, really, to go to public school and to be out in public. It seems funny because, you know, it was just so, it happened so fast, but everybody was glued to their television sets, and so it was kind of a big deal. It made it hard to go to school or, you know, to be out in public because everybody recognized me, and, you know, kids and autographs and the whole thing. It was quite a ride. And it was fun, and yet it was disrupting to normal life. And, you know, at some point, my parents, who were not showbiz people at all, just didn't really know how to handle it. They were not savvy as far as, you know, that kind of craziness, and just kind of pulled me out of it, and just basically to get away and just, you know, go to where I could go to school. That's when we moved.
So what were the children, I mean, were they always hounding? What was going on that it made it disruptive?
Well, it's kind of like today, you know, when, on a smaller scale, you know, but you know, celebrities, how now they have paparazzi, and it's just, you know, nuts. But then it was just, you know, the same kind of thing, only maybe on a smaller scale, but it was still as disruptive to normal life as when a, you know, a person that's a rock star, say, today, can't go out of their house or can't go to the grocery store because you're just swarmed. And that's basically how it was. And it all kind of happened with me so fast that, you know, it was a little overwhelming. I love Oklahoma, and I still feel like an Oklahoman, even though I've lived in California, and you can tell I still have an Oklahoma twang. People still ask me, where are you from? And I say Oklahoma. I've lived here all these years. But there's no place like Oklahoma. The people there, I love Oklahoma. I still have a few relatives still living there, and whenever I get a chance, I go back and I visit. I did visit Matilda in the zoo when I would go there. Unfortunately, she's no longer with us, but she lived a long, 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 long happy life and had like 12 offspring with Norm, her mate, and they went out to various zoos throughout the country. So she was a big draw for me to go back to Oklahoma to see her. And yeah, I love Oklahoma and the people. It's funny because it kind of sort of went away for years, and then it resurfaced a few years ago, and it gets more popular every year. I get calls from all over the world, you know, about the I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas, interviews, radio, DJs. I was in Costco one day and got a call on my cell phone, and it was Australia calling about the hippo song. It was, you know, winter there, it was summer here. Anyway, it's really been fun to kind of have that whole thing happening over again. But you know what? It was a special time, a unique event and you know, period of my life, and I should just celebrate that. And I've learned to do that. And so if people give me hippos, I think it's great. I've got one in my stream, stone hippo. I've got them all over the house. The song, you know, is all over the airwaves, and so I think it's just fine. I love it, and you know, I'm celebrating the whole thing.